Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author, Matt Adams.
Our tour continues through a golfing paradise and more. We're up here at Boyne, Country Club of Boyne today is where we are settled in. Welcome, one and all. Pleasure to have your company. Live golf is happening as we speak around the world at the BMW PGA Championship. Let me give you a leaderboard update on what's going on there. Matthew Baldwin leading the way. He is 5 under on his round today. He's reached the mark of 12 under atop the leaderboard. That has given him a 4-shot lead, as you can see there on your leaderboard. Tied for second are multiple players, including Thriston Lawrence, Billy Horschel, Andy Sullivan. Those players are all at 8 under. As I mentioned, again, 4 shots adrift from the top of the leaderboard. 5th place belongs to, amongst those, Tommy Fleetwood is in that mark at 7 under par. Rory McIlroy was kind of hanging in there, but he's finding his way down the leaderboard. We'll give you an update on where he stands. He'll start his day at 5 under par in just a little while. But Rory did speak coming into this week on a number of different subjects. He spoke about the disappointment last week of not being able to get it done at the Irish Open, literally in his home country at a course that he loves at Royal County Down. Overall, where he stands, how he feels, and where he stands, how he feels applies to another subject that Rory spoke about specifically, where the PIF and PGA Tour negotiations stand. I'm wondering, as we're about to throw to this sound, if there is a generalized fatigue about these conversations, particularly as news is starting to come out that some players on the one side want live players to give back the money and all this. And again, it starts to sound an awful lot like, are we talking about greed? Are we talking about selfishness? Are we talking about some embitteredness that they got the money, and if they want to play in the PGA Tour, they shouldn't have that money? It sounds crazy. And is it at a point where we all roll our eyes and go, is this really about what's good for the game, or is this really about a me situation? So anyways, Rory spoke to that as well. He brushstrokes it. He doesn't go really deep into where it stands, but I think it is a reflection of a deepening divide between players who want something to happen and players who are getting to what I just was alluding to. Is it just a fatigue with all of this? Is it getting to a point where people are ready to throw their hands up? And how dangerous is that for the game of golf at its highest elite level? So here's Rory McIlroy commenting on a number of different things that we thought you'd find of interest.
I'm glad for the opportunity to get back on the horse again. I think there may be a misconception that it hit me harder than it maybe did. You know, I didn't really feel like I necessarily lost the tournament. I felt like Rasmus went out and won it, shot 31 on the on the back 9. So yeah, I shouldn't have missed the green right on 15 and misjudged the first putt on 17. But I mean, you know, looking back on Sunday and the support of the crowds and that scene on 18 and everything, I mean, it was amazing to be a part of. So, you know, obviously just trying to look for the positives in all of it. But yeah, happy to get here with my game feeling like it's in pretty good shape, and I'm feeling like, you know, I have another chance to win a really big tournament that means a lot to me. Department of Justice. Maybe different interests from the player side. I'd say it's pretty similar. I'd say, you know, maybe half the players on LIV want the deal to get done, half probably don't. I'd say it's probably similar on the PGA Tour. Because just like anything, everyone's looking out for themselves and their best interests, and you know, it would benefit some people for a deal not to get done, but it would obviously benefit some people for a deal to get done. So yeah, I think there's different opinions amongst the players about what should happen, and I think when you have a members run organization, it complicates things a little bit, especially when some of those players are having to make decisions on the business side of things. So I think those are the two. I think the tours want it to happen. The investors certainly want it to happen because they can see the benefit for themselves. But right now it's DOJ and differing opinions of the players. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I wasn't a part of those meetings, so I maybe know a touch more than you do, but not a ton. But yeah, as I said, I think one of the stumbling blocks is the Department of Justice, and I think trying to approach that from a collaborative standpoint, I think seemed to be the best way forward. So yeah, I think to me it seems like the people that are really making the decisions are all rowing in the same direction, which is a really good thing. And even if they are all rowing in the same direction, it still doesn't mean that a deal may get done, because it's just a very complicated set of circumstances. But yeah, from what I hear, there's optimism there, and that's good to see. Yeah, he could be injured. His game could go off. But Jon Rahm, the way he's playing right now, and the way he's played since he turned pro in 2016 or 17 or whatever it is, Jon Rahm is a wonderful addition to the European team. Well, I think it's hard because we don't really see them anymore. Especially, I'm not sure if Poltz give up his European Tour membership or so. You need someone around that's comfortable. I mean, you look at what Luke has done the last few years. He's really made an effort to come over. He played in Czech Republic. He was in Switzerland. He's making an effort to be around the players and be, make the players feel comfortable with him, the up and comers that haven't had a chance to be on a team yet or trying to make a team. And with the guys that left, Poulter, Westwood, we don't. How can these young up and comers, build a rapport with them when they're never here or you can't see them? So I think that's a really important part of a Ryder Cup and a Ryder Cup captaincy. And I'm not saying that Poulter doesn't have the credentials to be a Ryder Cup captain, but I just think with the current state of where everything is, you need someone that's around and showing their face as much as they can, and right now that honestly just can't be them because they're elsewhere.
But on a personal level, sorry to follow up, but on a personal level, would you have any objections to being captained by Ian Poulter, Lee Westwood, whoever else it could potentially be?
I mean, it's such a grey area. There's some that I would be okay with, and there'd be others that I wouldn't be okay with. So it's hard to put them all in the same bucket.
All right, so Rory McIlroy, as I mentioned before we put the sound on, is touching on a number of different subjects and some big and important subjects as well. But as I was mentioning to you guys, and I'm curious if you feel the same way, as we start to learn more about what's really going on, and I think all the parties have worked very, very hard to keep things secret as they're negotiating, but in the world we live in today, as we know, it's very difficult to keep anything secret and keep anything under wraps. And it becomes even more difficult when you have an emerging different camps of philosophy, because one side will see it as a benefit to put out information, call it negative or contrary to their opinion, so that in the court of public opinion, people start to weigh in. And so that's what's happening right now, in my view. We're getting information that we otherwise would not have known, and we're starting to find out what the snares are in discussions between PIF and the PGA Tour, and whether you want PIF and the PGA Tour to come together or not. It is exposing these philosophies that these different parties have, some of which are pretty discomforting with where everything stands. So for better or for worse. And that's why I asked you the question, are we getting to a point of just a generalized across the board fatigue with all of this? And is that starting to manifest itself in various and in different ways, not the least of which is engagement with the game of golf at its highest competitive tiers? Something for us very much to keep an eye on. We're obviously all going to be keeping an eye on as we march to the days that lie ahead to the President's Cup and the start of the same. Interesting article Adam Schupak put out from Golf Week when he had a conversation with Jim Furyk, and Jim Furyk became pretty agitated with the line of questioning that Adam had, that, to give it context, was basically to say, hey, wouldn't it be good if the international team won one for the competition's sake? And Jim Furyk to that was saying, quoting, did you ever play anything in your entire life as a competitor? Because I'd rather you not even say good luck than to say it and not even mean it. Do you know how many hours the captains work to try to win these matches? Do you know how hard and how much effort the players, how hard they take it when they don't play well? I've seen grown men cry in the locker room because they're upset, and I've seen how much it means to them when they do not play well. I know what you're saying, but do you know how offended I am? So it's not like I'm killing you right now, but F you. Go F yourself. And you can quote me on that one. Close quote in his first panel. Now, bear in mind what I just said, and as you can see from the graphic, if you're with us on the television side, I edited what Jim just said. He didn't edit it, apparently, in what he said to Adam. And then there's this following one. Andrew, if you could go to the second panel on this one from Jim Furyk. Nope, Dom tells me let's go with that one. So it's pretty significant with what Jim said there, and I'm curious what you guys think. Is that the kind of passion? Is that the kind of commitment that you want from in this case, the captain of your President's Cup team or a Ryder Cup team? Now, regardless of what side you're on, the international side, or if it's a Ryder Cup, the European side, or on either of two aforementioned USA side, I think you expect to see that level of passion and commitment from the captain. And to further the context of those quotes, Jim was talking about being in the presence of an executive in golf who gave him what he thought was a half-hearted good luck. And when he pressed the exec, because he sensed it, and this is me paraphrasing, and when he pressed the executive on it and said, what do you mean there? The executive was kind of saying, well, yeah, good luck, but it would be nice if. And that really offended Jim. It really offended him. We're out here to win. We're not out here to put on a showing of effort so that the event grows because it's in your best interest from a marketing standpoint. These players are out here giving their heart and soul and playing as hard as they possibly can. So I don't know. For my part, I respect that out of a captain for the United States. And I also think that that's exactly what we want. Here is a look at the 2024 President's Cup team. You can see respectively on each side. Cannot wait for that to get underway as well, because the Solheim Cup, which just concluded, was so awesome and so much fun to watch. All right, as you guys know, we are here up at Boyne this week. We're having an incredible trip. It is going so well, and I'm not saying that because of anything that we're doing. I'm saying that because the people that are on this trip, I'm saying that because of what Boyne does in terms of hosting us. They have 10 golf courses up here right now, and that's soon to be 11. We'll find out officially when we start to change the moniker in that regard with the guests that we have coming up, because they are continuing to develop, they are continuing to build, they are continuing to evolve. We're here today at the Country Club of Boyne, and it is absolutely awesome. We have another 36 holes ahead of us today. We've just been pounding it out, having a great time. There is the chance of some weather coming in. We've been bragging to you all week that the temps are going to be in the low to mid 80s, and it looked like that was going to be the case. But all of a sudden, some front has come in off the inland sea that is Lake Michigan that we're standing alongside of. So we'll see how it plays out this afternoon. But after this, we'll talk about this wonderful place and what's the connection with all of you guys. Why is this so special, and what does it mean to you? We'll explain. Stay with us. More of the Fairways of Life show coming up. It is presented by the PGA Tour Superstore, the #1 golf retailer coast to coast. Big, beautiful stores. You need it. You want it for your game. You can find it inside of their stores, and I think their chief asset is actually their people. You've got people that are professionals, vested in your best interest in your game. There are other places you can go to buy golf equipment. There's no doubt about that. But these are just people that are trying to sell you a piece of sporting goods. They're not professionals in golf. At the PGA Tour Superstore, you can be assured that they are. Back with more.
I got ball fit in 2000, went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together, hit over 100,000 balls, all so they can get you the perfect fit.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can have muscles and be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Super easy to hit. Introducing the new PXG Black Ops irons, our first game improvement iron.
It's a larger face heel to toe.
It launches the ball high in the air and really far.
Much higher levels of forgiveness. You set that club down, creates a lot of confidence. It's supported by this X-Core column material.
And that's where you get improved ball speed. If you're looking for a distance, forgiveness, and feel, Black Ops iron is going to be for you.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal caddy. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
Yeah, it's that special, folks. It really is. Absolutely gorgeous day yesterday. We played the links in the quarry in the afternoon. It was just so awesome. And we had a nice dinner over there. Look at this. This is why I tell you when we're playing that the links course in particular to me feels like kind of the sweeping golf that you see oftentimes in Scotland. And you're on these bluffs high above the inland sea of Lake Michigan, and it was just incredible. So inspiring. Look at this, right? And I love the brushstroke of Arthur Hills, my dear friend. Rest in peace, Arthur, with what's been crafted. It's incredible. Bernie Friedrich's joining us right now, officially now the director of golf course renovations, back from his near-death experience yesterday. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I was scared, really scared.
I'll tell you what. I will tell you things happen for a reason, right? And I was playing with one of the Lionhearts, and he was going for a green and 2 and a par 5, and he was back. I think he was like 240 or so. I don't know what it was, but the end of the shot was downhill. So I go down, and there's this little knoll, because I wanted to go down there so I could see where his ball went, because there was no way he could see from where he was. He hits this shot, and it just takes off, snaps it. and it was above me, so I could see the direction it was going. I'm watching it go. We're in the middle out in the woods, and all of a sudden I look, and I didn't know it was you, but somebody who comes driving up in a golf cart. It was going at him like it was a guided missile.
I was 40 yards off the ring.
Oh, you were way off. And I scream at him, Forlem! He dives. The thing missed him by that much. So I went down to see how he was doing. He goes, that was your one chance.
Yeah.
You're okay today.
Yep, I am.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing great. We had a fundraiser here last night. I was the bartender. It's the golf pros serve our members as a fundraiser.
Very nice.
And, bus, and I was bartender, so I make strong drinks so they don't come back as often. And
when was the last time you were a bartender for real?
For real? Never.
For real?
Never.
Are you telling me back in the day you didn't hop behind the bar when you had to?
No, I used
to have to do that.
I like the other side of the bar much better.
I can't blame you. I can't blame you for that. We just had the graphic up. We were talking about 10 golf courses, Boyne Golf. When do we officially say 11?
We're doing some previews this year, and I'd be happy to show you the golf course, but it's next spring. Next spring is we're going to open it. It's in really actually pretty good shape right now, but we're going to wait till next spring, along with the putting green that we have, which is 1.5 acre putting green. So we're going to wait till then, and then one of the purposes was obviously short courses are really popular.
This is Dune-Bray he's talking about.
Dune-Bray, right? And the short courses are popular around the country, and it gives opportunity for families and people to be able to play it, keep interested in golf. But it also keeps, the opportunity for groups like yourself that are here for 4 or 5 days without having to play 36 holes every single day that get a little tired. They have an opportunity to go over and play that.
Do you have it like you promote it as such, like go on out, grab a pint with you, walk around, just relax?
100%. It's right off the bar.
Well, here it is.
Right off the bar at the hotel, and it's fun. It's fun. It's kind of they're not like Donald Ross, the duplicate holes. These are inspired by, first of all, it's on the ski slope. Dune-Bray means slope into a valley. So they're inspired by, McDonald, Seth Rayner, and it's just fun. It's
obviously what we're looking at here, this was in Groen, right?
Yeah, this was in Groen.
But it shows really cool kind of cutting rings around these greens. Am I to believe these greens were all raised then?
No, they were just on a slope. They weren't raised. They were leveled a little bit because of the slope. Yep. And the dark areas that you see there, in the Groen, that's all fescue. So it's all 18 inches of fescue that you're walking around and in between.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it's
gorgeous.
It really is. It really is.
Did you spray the grass, or did you guys sod it, or how did you approach it?
We sodded most of the fairways, and the other thing is, Pinehurst, they have tee boxes. We're not going to have tee boxes. We're going to put a marker in there, and everything is going to be cut fairway height. So the point is, you go play at any place you want. You and I are playing. And I said, well, okay, we're going to play a downhill shot, a side hill shot, the green and things like that. There's no mandatory places to tee.
Now, what were you talking about with the putting green that you mentioned?
It's an 1.5 acre putting green that has a Himalaya type putting green that has a lot of rolling things. It is right next to Dune-Bray. It's right outside of the slope side bar at the hotel and stuff. And we're going to put up to 27 holes, 1 through 9 and so forth, that you can play with your buddies and stuff as a 9-hole thing and an 18-hole thing. But the most important thing is at each hole, there's going to be a beverage holder.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
That's important on those type of places.
Well, like you said, you've got people that are doing a lot of golf and playing a lot of golf. And I've seen in these type facilities, they're out there sometimes in flip-flops or barefoot, just playing golf and chilling and relaxing and having a good time, which is a really cool piece of it. When you were building Dune-Bray, how much were you involved in the green shaping in particular?
Well, I was in the person on site. So Ray Hearn is the architect and has done all of our remodel stuff. But I was there on a day-to-day with the construction, and we did tweak some, you know.
I thought so,
and
yeah.
and
Whoa, look at that. That was during shaping, right?
yeah. And by the way, this is lit too.
No.
Yeah. So it's on our ski hill, so which has lights on it for night, and it works out that this will be lit. Now I don't know how good that's going to be at 12 o'clock at night. Probably not a good things happen after that.
Yeah, I was going to say that that's kind of a trade-off then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, it will be lit. There's certain times of year like this right now that you can, you know, light it up and still be able to play it.
So correct me if I'm wrong here then, Bernie. In the wintertime, this is going to be underneath a blanket of snow. People are going to be skiing over this golf course?
That's correct. Right.
What about the bunkers? Moguls?
We put barrels in the bunkers and big barrels, and then we make snow over top of them so they're flush. We also have on our groomer, we have a device, a LiDAR device that measures it, that knows the depth of the snow, so they don't go over it when it's too thin.
That is crazy. It's very cool and very exciting.
Yeah, it is.
With everything that's going on. You guys have been crazy busy over the course of the last couple of seasons, haven't you?
Yeah. We're you know, we started like the Donald Ross course and in '87, and we just didn't have the technology to do the golf course right. So we're going back with Ray's help. You know, we had, you know, that LiDAR that I talked about, Google Earth and things like that, and access to Donald Ross's original drawings, even if it's on a piece of paper. But we have access to do that, and we can really get it down to really an inch of the greens, down to an inch of what they're supposed to be. And,
that's incredible.
And we've made some significant changes. That's Royal Dornoch, number 14, our number 10.
Yeah.
You'll see that today. It's got a little more grass on it than that picture, but the green is 3 times bigger than the green that you last played it.
Oh, okay, great.
It's almost it's over 12,000 square feet with some pretty good movement in it. But so we're excited about that. We've redone number 1, which is Seminole playing field. Number 2, we've redone 13, that are complete. 13, which is a Seminole, Aronimick, and a Pinehurst hole, number 16 from number 2. So we're going to keep improving and spending a lot of money to do this, to not redo holes, but redo our holes to make it more realistic.
And speaking about the credibility that goes with something like that, the competitive credibility of these golf courses, which have never been in question, are only being affirmed once more, because now you've got an Epson Tour event coming in. So you literally have the stars of the game tomorrow that will be competing on your golf courses.
Right. They're playing the Heather. They have a 3-year contract to play, and it's in June. And we play a lot of tournaments. There's a lot of statewide big tournaments that are played on here, and we had a celebrity like they play in Tahoe here at one point in time. But yeah, and we're going back through all of our golf courses, you know, to try to keep me employed. With Ray Hearn, and made a 10-year plan of all of our golf courses. So we're going to keep picking away and doing things even to the Heather in the next year, 2 years, and at Bay Valley as well.
Do you ever do nothing? Just like I'm staying home, not doing anything. I'm going to stay on the couch today and watch TV.
I tried it the other day, and I made it till quarter
like 9:30.
Yeah, quarter after 8.
Exactly. Exactly. That sounds exactly what it was all about. How is 2025 looking for you already?
Really good, actually. You know, I a little worried. We were a little worried about, you know, economy and things like that, and people cutting up, but it cutting down on expenses. But it's really looking good. Bookings are well. I think we're on our way to have another great year. I think we've had 10 best years ever in a row.
Wow.
And we're going to continue to do that. And that's why we're doing all these changes. That's why we're trying to keep up on the maintenance practices. That's why you play cricketry. We put all new bunkers in there, and sand in there and stuff like that. So we're going to keep working on it.
It's beautiful. And I've told you this one-on-one many times, and I've mentioned it to the audience before. But for me, the way I judge a golf experience is I say to myself, if I had to play just this one course for the rest of my life, would I be happy? And it's hard for me to decide which one of those courses here would be the one, because every time I'm on them, I go, like, for example, like cricketry, the other day that we're on it, you're reminded again of just how great a golf course it is, and be like, I'd be perfectly happy here. And it keeps happening. I mean, as you know, the Hills course is my favorite course of all of them. For a whole variety of different reasons, mostly because I can see Arthur's design concepts consummate. But I just think it's amazing, couple ways, Bernie. One, that you have such incredibly good golf courses, but two, there's no two golf courses out here that are similar to each other. They're all distinctive.
Yes. Yeah. And you know, the point well taken too is the people ask me all the time when I was in a different position and said, what's your favorite? And I always said, I couldn't say I have a favorite. I said, they're like kids. They're all my favorite. But with the Ross changes that are coming or that have been coming along, it's amazing how impact that has. And Ross is one of my favorites now. I can say it now, but the Ross last year, while we were remodeling it and didn't even have all the holes open, increased 19% over the year before. And that's, you know, we had increases all over, but that was the biggest increase. And now members are saying, wow, Ross might be my favorite golf course now, and things like that. So it's again, and that's why we try to keep doing things that we're doing.
Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, if you are a fan of the Masters of golf, then this Donald Ross Memorial is a very, very unique golf course. They went out and picked what they felt were 18 of his best from around the world of golf, and then used modern technology to craft the land that they continue to tweak as that technology gets better and better and better. Argument could be made that the golf course, the golf holes here are actually truer to his original design concept than the originals, what with changes, et cetera. So it's a remarkable experience. It's one we're going to have today. And I have to admit that, ironically, the Donald Ross course here, though I've played it a number of times, is the course that I have the least amount of experience on. So I'm very much looking forward to the canvas that we'll be introduced to once more, especially with these changes. If you had a message for the world about Boyne Golf, what would it be?
Well, I think what it used to be is they come up and for the weekends, and they were all from Michigan. Now the message, I guess the message is that there's so many more flights to our area, and plan on several days here and be able to play and experience multitude of golf courses like you have been doing. And I think with the climate that we have up here, the daylight that we have, there's probably no better place to play golf.
There is no doubt about that. We can attest to the same, because it is as beautiful as that which you're watching on your television screens right now. Bernie, it's great to see you, as always.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for everything you have done. We'll be back with more of the Fairways of Life show right after this.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous Parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
The best feeling iron I've ever hit. Introducing the new Gen 7 irons, the greatest leap forward in irons technology, in performance, in PXG history. Our new quantum core material explodes off the face. Are you kidding me? The Gen 7 irons deliver groundbreaking new levels of forgiveness, speed, distance, and feel. That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that trajectory. Just phenomenal. Gen 7. It doesn't get any better.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm going to go after the PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy. But you know what is easy? Hitting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Hitting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're going to need all the easy you can get. Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together, hit over 100,000 balls, all so they can get you the perfect fit.
Well, I think I learned what I need to work on to become a better player. Whether it's sometimes you have to just realize that golf is like life. I mean, it's not always going your way, and there's times where you're going to go through difficult stretches. And to me, I always felt like I actually learned more when I was struggling than I ever learned when everything was going my way or when I was winning. I mean, yeah, winning doesn't happen that much in the game of golf. You lose way more than you win. Yes. So I think you have to understand that that's part of the process to getting on top. Is understanding that when the spiral is not going your direction, how to turn that around and try to hang in there. And whether it means work more on your short game or, maybe take a break away from the game a little bit. Like, luckily for me, I have so many hobbies outside the game of golf that I can distract my mind away from this game by my passion of either fly fishing or riding my snowmobiles in the wintertime. Sure. So I don't think so much about golf. And I think to be good at something, you can't be totally synchronized 24 hours a day being consumed by that. I think you got to have a little bit of diversity in your life and all aspects of it to be successful in a certain area. I'm going to take it all in. I'm also going to have a tear in my eye. I mean, I realize that, for the last 44 years, I've been chasing this little white ball around the but certainly because of the experiences and the memories that are etched in my mind that have transpired here at Pebble Beach and the Monterey Peninsula, yeah, I mean, I'll be happy, but I'll be sad. I don't know I felt this experience before already when I played my last Open Championship in 2017 at Royal Birkdale. Yes. And I felt this at Augusta National in 2018 when I walked away from playing in the Masters. Yes. So, I'm kind of prepared for it, but we'll kind of see. But if I'm not emotional, then I wouldn't be human. My opinion would be this. Like, I've always believed that golf, there's been a little bit of speed bump in golf, right, with everything that's gone on. But I still think that golf is above all this. I think that the game is going to be fine. I know that, there's opinions on both sides, sure, good and bad, right? But my take is that at the end of the day, we're going to be all right. We'll get this all worked out, and I hope they do. I mean, look, I'm a guy that traveled around the globe, played around the globe, chased the money. I mean, I play professional golf, not just for tournaments, but I also try to make money. I mean, that's what I mean, if I want to have a nice house, I have to make money to be able to buy a nice house. So I don't fault anybody for doing this, whether they went to live or didn't go to live. I know that it created a division a little bit in the game of golf, but I think in the end of the day, you know, guys tee it up to play for not only just the money, but their pride, and they want to beat each other. They just do. Whether it's at the President's Cup, the Ryder Cup, the Solheim Cup, whether it's on LIV or on the PGA Tour, the Korn Ferry Tour, the Champions Tour, DP World Tour. I mean, there are a lot of different golf tours, and I hope and pray that, you know, that the PGA Tour, Jay Monahan and Yasser can get this worked out, and the players all come back together and give each other a bunch of big hug and just get out there and play.
I'm looking forward to the stay in bed all day vibe today. It was definitely tough kind of waking up this morning, but you know, I do love competing and I love being out here, and you know, seeing all the fans come out too definitely motivates you. So overall, you know, everyone that played last week is going to be tired, and I'm just trying to take it one step at a time. Know that my energy levels aren't the greatest, but I'm still motivated and I'm 100%. You know, any single time you get to play a bogey-free round, I feel like, one, it's super encouraging and a little bit motivating, because there's just no greater feeling than, you know, minimizing your mistakes or making no mistakes. That's so fun about golf, because I mean, golf is the game of misses, right? I mean, you're always going to make mistakes. So whenever you get to play a bogey-free round, I feel like it motivates you, and hopefully I can take that energy into the next 3 days.
Putting really well lately. I mean, how nice does it feel just to see some putts drop finally, maybe last weekend, even today?
Yeah, no, it feels really nice. You know, it's something that you continue to work on. I mean, everyone works on every part of their game, and sometimes when you work really hard on one part of the game, it takes a while for it to show. So it's really nice for it to show now.
You know, it's unbelievable when you think about it that we're, less than a week away from fall officially starting, and there's so much great golf that you still can see and watch and hear from. That Mark O'Meara sound we wanted to make sure we got to today, because this is his last week competing. He's ending it at Pebble Beach in the PGA Tour Champions. He's won at Pebble Beach distinctively, as you well know, 5 times for Mark O'Meara. So congratulations to him on an incredible career. Ken Griffith's joining me right now. Ken's titled officially as Director of Sales and Marketing here at Boyne. We just had a Hall of Fame legend on with us, and with Bernie, talking about the changes. I suppose from your perspective, you've got to tell the world about what's going on, and they keep getting better and better and better. That's a pretty good situation. There's a lot of people in your role that would be envious of what you guys have.
I've got the best job in the world because of what these guys do. I mean, I have new things every year to sell. It's a fresh product, but a product that's at a really high quality level.
At what point does the job become taxing, not because you're trying to fill spots, but because the spots are so filled already?
Well, it seems like every year we keep moving it up. I mean, this year we started selling 2025 in May.
Wow. Well, Bernie just said you've had 10 consecutive years of the best years you've ever had.
We're a month away from having 11.
Wow. There's some breaking news right there. That is tremendous. So was 25 already starting to build up for you?
Oh, no, it has been. I mean, we took a look at the numbers yesterday, and it's up significantly over what we booked in the summer for 23 booking for 24.
Yeah.
25 booking that we're booked this summer is up significantly
Why?
over what it was. Because people realize that even with 10 courses and 120 different rooms and over 3,000 beds on property, that if I want the courses I want, when I want to play them, and I want to stay in the lodging facility when I want to do it, there's people beating them to them. We used to have a lot of people in Michigan that came, and they still do, but they're having to learn that they've got to plan earlier, because if you wait to plan, you can come and we'll find space and you'll be playing the courses, but you have way more options and the price is lower the earlier you do it.
That's a really interesting subject you just brought up, because I don't think it's unique just to Boyne, but I think you could give as an example of it, where you used to be able to plan a trip out a month. Then it maybe have gone to 6 months. Where are we now? What should the lead time be?
I mean, if you're ready to plan a year out, then that's when you should be planning. The earlier you plan, the better. But I would say you can't wait till Christmas. I mean, we have people that do, and they still find spots. But if you want the best selection and the best rates, it's the earlier you plan, the better. We have 6 months where we sell 2 years. We're in one season and we're selling the next. By
So,
the
I
time
mean,
we open courses,
we're in the middle of an incredible trip here right now. But we've got our fans at Fairways Life show. It's a big trip. They're going insane and having the time of their life. We had another big group dinner last night. Got another 36 holes ahead of us today, and we got more golf after that. And then we're definitely coming back here in 26. So you're basically telling me we should be playing at 26 right now. Is that what I'm reading?
Right.
So where are we going to eat on the second night?
I'll find you a spot to eat. I just got to get bed. Well, and the bigger the group you have, if you have groups of, couples or 4 or 8, I mean, our wheelhouse is 12 to 16 is very typical.
Yeah, but we've been, our groups keep getting bigger too, because as we speak to, the spreading the gospel of Boyne golf, it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I was telling Ken about this. I love that we include Boyne in everything we do. And I do it because I love you guys.
And we appreciate it.
We put them on Golf Channel. We put them on our nationally syndicated show. We put them on our daily live, all of it, all the time. And I love the fact that through your efforts and everything you guys are doing, you are connecting with golfers everywhere. We were talking about it again before we went on the air today, that your mix, you told me, 48 states? You've had people
last
visit?
2 years, 48 states have come and played. Well, there's 22 U.S. cities
Who are the
now.
2 losers?
It varies year to year. I went back and looked at the gory details. But, Bernie mentioned it briefly, but there are 22 U.S. cities now with directs. It's 2 hours.
Is it Hartford up in New England?
Majority of the East
New one,
Coast
too?
is an hour and a half to 2 hour flight into Traverse City and a 1 hour drive here. Phoenix, Denver, 4 different airports in Florida, Dallas, Houston. The amazing one to me is California is a top 10 state for us to now.
Yeah.
And there's no direct. You are either flying through Denver or Phoenix or Chicago to get here.
Or Detroit. We flew directly into Detroit and drove over. It was easy.
Right.
It was a beautiful ride.
Yeah.
It's just, we shot up here in no time. You were also telling me before we went on, now you're piquing my curiosity, that Colorado was one of your biggest states for people coming in. What is that connection?
5 or 6 years ago, we saw this trend start, and we thought it was transplants, coming back. And then the numbers kept getting big enough, and we're like, it can't be, there aren't that many transplants from Michigan and Colorado if they all came. And it's just growing.
I figured it was you going to Colorado, visiting your kids, sitting around a bar somewhere. They're like, what do you do, buddy? I'm Boyne golf.
You need to come play golf. Yeah, no. I'm not that good of a Pied Piper when I'm out there.
Yes, you are.
But, it's an easy flight.
That's true.
It's an easy flight. It's a couple hour flight. You land. It's a 1 hour drive. If you can keep flights in that 2 or 3 hour window, and then have a 1 hour drive, that's not bad to get to the variety of golf that we have.
I'm gonna diverge from the golf for just 1 second, because we haven't talked about it a lot on this trip with the following, and that's the snow. Now Ken is a top tier ski official, judge. You've taught members of my family how to ski and all the rest. Could you talk to the virtues of this place as a winter destination?
Well, as a winter destination, it's more regional. It doesn't have the national draw. We own Big Sky, so Big Sky has a national draw. We have some very big resorts, Sunday River, Sugarloaf, Tui, and Loon in the east. But here in the Midwest, it's a drive mentality to get to an area.
Look how
And you love. In fact, a lot of the people on the trip are staying in that remodeled chalet Edelweiss. Good use of COVID time, right? Shut down 2 hotels, redo the entire inside, and that's a prime example of it.
Such a cool shot there.
So,
this is Ken.
Everybody has a slush cup toward the end of the season.
What are we watching here?
We're watching Carnival.
Is that just late night
Carnival
at some
weekend?
pub?
3,000 people on a hill. Exactly.
I don't know where Andrew got this video, but I'm not sure that was the stuff you want to release.
I think he pulled it off the Boyne Mountain website. We actually toned that party down at one point a few years ago with like 10,000, and it was like, okay, it's a little out of control. We need to manage this a little bit.
Look at this. This is crazy.
It's a.
We should just let this video run and just do a play-by-play of what we're watching.
Spring celebration.
And they are celebrating big time. Yeah, man. So anyway, the virtues of what we have here are amazing. And there was another piece to this I want to get to. We're talking about the skiing and all the rest. You have an almost 100,000 square foot indoor water park.
Mm-hmm.
talk about, something for everybody. I know that's the cliche, but I mean, it's literal.
Avalanche Bay is the largest indoor water park in Michigan right now. There's another one being built that may supersede us a little bit, but for 25 years, it's been the biggest water park in Michigan. It's attached to the hotel at Boyne Mountain. It's not owned by somebody else. It's we own the thing, but it's not just that. Talk about the outside activities. Skybridge, a lot on this group.
Oh, that's the new, yeah.
They're going to go see Skybridge. It's the world's longest timber suspension bridge. It's 120 feet off the ground and 1,100 feet long down at Boyne Mountain. But you got
it's there as a spectacle, right? Because it's a bridge to nowhere. If I remember
people
correctly.
drive to come see this
but
bridge.
you didn't build it to connect point A to B. You built it for it's because it's spectacular.
It does, but it was the views, and especially at this time of the year with the fall foliage coming in, and there's 14 wineries around our courses, and horseback trail rides and zip lines and mountain biking, and there's even the towns.
Oh, there it is.
Harbor Springs and Petoskey and Boyne City are just great local towns, and they're for each of the three properties. Not only are they close, but you're never more than 10 minutes away from these local lakeshore towns that you can just go hang out in.
And then if you want to get down quickly from the bridge, you can do the zip lining.
You can zip line.
Look at the horses. We've done the horseback riding here multiple times, and the beautiful little towns that surround
Donna
it.
has snowshoed in the wintertime. I mean, it's just we try
and
and
do that too. No, she made me do cross country skiing, which
she made you do cross country. You made me go snowshoe with her. Okay,
that's true. I stayed in the bar.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I shouldn't have had to told that story. Thanks a lot. No, it is awesome. So are you happy with the way everything is going? Are you pleased with the way the message is getting out then?
Oh, it's, we continue to see people coming. You've had people on this trip that have not been on your trips before. And you're like, how'd you find out? And you said, well, watched the Golf Channel. We live in Philly. We decided, let's go ahead and make the trip. So the word is getting out, and that's how we'd rather have it grow. We don't want this rocket ship climb. Nice, steady, smooth growth, and continue to improve the product so that when people come, they have a great experience.
It is incredible, and to that latter point, continuing to improve the product. The golf courses here, as you've heard me say many times, are first of all just flat out spectacular. But what impresses me are two things. One, each course is distinctive. So it's not a cookie cutter. They are distinctive in terms of how they've designed. That takes vision, that takes effort, and that takes money. And then the second thing is that the quality of the golf experience, you're talking about turf conditions, green speeds, et cetera, height of a cut and mow, it's consistent from golf course to golf course, which is also important to the experience, because I'm sure if you come up on a trip similar to ours, you're going to be playing a lot of different golf in a lot of different places. And so that all impresses me. And I know that makes your job better and easier to do, but to get that kind of commitment from upper management and ownership is not a normal thing in today's marketplace.
No, it's not at all to have that much commitment from the Kircher family the whole way on down. And, where else, and people, I've had writers come in and go, okay, well, what's the differentiator? So you're national level. What makes you guys national level? And I said, well, first of all, anybody in that group of national destinations, the quality has to be there or you're not even in the conversation. But then what differentiates us is just that. The video is shown, the lakeshore courses, 140 miles to Wisconsin, you're looking out across and you don't see anything.
Yeah.
You go down to Boyne Mountain, it's 20 minutes away, and you've got a 1.2 mile drive to the top, and you play back down to a 450 acre lake. But it's a 10-minute ride in the car.
Awesome.
Right? And tomorrow. And then you come here and, you're going to play the Ross this afternoon, or this morning, so that you get a chance to see all the updates we've made. And then this afternoon, you're on Arthur Hill's course. Well, that Arthur Hill's course, as you know, it's a 9-mile cart path. It's 45-minute drive. It's got a longer pace of play than any other course we have, but it's a 9-mile cart path. And on 13, it's a 350-foot drop from tee to green, and you're looking at 4,000 acres and you can't see a building. And you're 25 minutes away from Bay Harbor.
When people become a member at one of these courses, how do they decide which one?
Well, you don't. Your Country Club of Boyne or your Bay Harbor Golf Club membership actually gives you access to all 13 courses, all 10, soon to be 11 in Michigan. And it also gives you access to our courses at Sunday River, Maine, Sugarloaf, Maine, and Big Sky, Montana.
Wow. Do you have out-of-state memberships as well?
Oh, a lot of our members, especially at Bay Harbor Golf Club. I would say it could be over 50% are California, Arizona. I mean, it's everybody escaping the heat. It's not hard to figure out.
Well, that's all I was just going to ask you.
Really,
where do I pick up a form?
It's good golf. And, you know, when you compare it to, because we know we're seasonal and it's a shorter window, it's not near the membership fee structure that you're used to at other clubs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let me see.
It's your
Where's the
second or third
application?
club. I'll get Carrie
Or is
Ann.
it by invitation only?
No. It's not by invitation. I'll get Carrie Ann to send you and Donna a form right away.
All right. I would like. Don't tell Donna about it. Just
Okay.
Let me work on that part.
Okay.
As we move along. All right. I'm going to ask you to finish with the same thing that I asked Bernie a moment ago. You have an opportunity to say to the world your message about Boyne Golf. What is it?
Quality and variety starts there. Then it's also easy to get to, much easier than most people would have thought Michigan is, just because of the additional service, and the airport's going to be expanding again. That just was released yesterday. And on a national level, we're inexpensive. We are the most expensive public golf in Michigan, but when you compare us nationally, where the big tour operators tell me that we're inexpensive compared to the national destinations, because we have 800 courses we're competing with in Michigan.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's no doubt. And that economy spreads through everything you do here. It's quite remarkable. If you're a person that likes to travel to play incredible golf experiences and destinations from there. Ken, thank you so much.
Matty, thanks.
It's always a pleasure.
Always pleasure.
Really do appreciate it. Hey, before we say goodbye today, I wanted to leave you guys with Bryson DeChambeau as well. As you know, Liv has their team competition coming up. And I think I don't think Bryson really changed himself. I just think he redefined himself by finding mediums that we got to know him better as to who he really was. And what he did at the U.S. Open and the way that he used that to connect with people and let them share and be a part of his victory, his again, a multiple-time major champion. In that case, winning the U.S. Open at Pinehurst was so unique and frankly so different than champions that we've seen, particularly over the last couple of decades, where everything's about building up walls to the people other than when it's to their commercial benefit. That wasn't what Bryson did. So here is hearing from Bryson again about how he's doing, what he's thinking, where he stands on everything. So we'll end with this, and thank you guys for your company as ever.
Me personally, this year has been an interesting year. Obviously, winning a U.S. Open has been great. I haven't done as well as I would have liked to on Live. Personally, I've had a bunch of top tens, bunch of close calls. Just haven't gotten the job done, and hopefully I can do that in Chicago. But game is still trending in a good direction. Been working really hard behind the scenes. There's a lot of business that does go on behind the scenes as a captain, which is a good thing. And I'm excited for it. But what I can tell you is the game is continuing to trend, and looking forward to not only Chicago, but this event, the team championship here at Merido. I would say getting a little bit older. Look, I'm only 30, about to turn 31. Say being a little more understanding of others and understanding what the game of golf needs is a huge component for me. I think YouTube has been a big platform for me. Live has been a gigantic platform to help me have a great team around me. When I've got Paul, Bon, and Charles pushing me forward every single day, and that's my teammates. So Paul Casey, Charles Howell, and Anirban Lahiri, those three individuals will make up the Crushers. And they have been supportive from day one. They're the ones that took the leap of faith with me and said, we're going to help make this successful. And I think that's been the biggest change, is having a team around me that is continuing to engage, continuing to push, say, no, Bryson, come on, you can do better, you can do better. And they're a lot wiser than me, I can tell you that. There's no young guns on my team, but that's what makes us so special, and I think why we're so stable as well. Personally, in my opinion, we have changed the vision of the game of golf. I think there's so much opportunity now moving forward than there previously was. Golf, in my opinion, was in a place of, I feel like it was a bit stagnant. I feel like there was times where we could have done more. There was more things to be done, and things weren't necessarily done in the way that some of the players would have thought they could have been done. What I mean by that is that Liv came around and we all saw this opportunity of team golf and being partial owners of teams and creating business value and creating value across the world, not only just for from a business perspective, but an opportunity to grow the game globally. And that was a big decision for me to be a part of something like that, where we could reach different parts of the world, whether it's Singapore, Hong Kong, hopefully, India at some point. Honorbon is a big component of our team, and he wants to do something special there. And what we can do with building academies, creating driving ranges, education centers, there's just so much we can do when we bring people together and players together to help grow this great game globally. One of the biggest things for me in coming over was seeing everyone and how much they actually cared every single shot, because it wasn't just about them. Yeah. When you're on, if I'm playing in a tournament, another tour, and it's Saturday or Sunday, and I'm not playing well, you're really playing for yourself, which is fantastic. It's a great thing. But man, when you're out here with Liv and you're playing on Sunday and your fourth score counts and matters, because out here 4 scores count on Sunday, and you're 35th in the leaderboard, you're not going to win, but your team is up there next to the lead, and you have a 5-footer for par. I mean, that 5-footer now means the world to that team. And if you don't make that, you feel like you've let your team down. And so there's so much pressure involved all the way across the tournament line. And that's what I think is so special. There have been times where Boyne and my Coba this year, we in the last 3 holes said, all right, we're both going to birdie every single hole coming in. It was this look in each other's eyes, and we're like, we're just going to birdie every single hole coming in. And we played well. The same thing with Hong Kong. Paul and I, he was competing for an individual title. I was competing for an individual title, but we were still competing for a team championship there. And we were playing the same group. We finished on 16, and he was 1 shot ahead. If I birdied the hole, I tied for the lead, and Paul hit it in the back bunker. He actually holes out, and normally I'd be like, oh, son of a gun. I was jumping in the air for him because he actually made a birdie to get into a playoff with Cam and Abraham Answer. And I missed my birdie putt, and ultimately it didn't matter if I made it, but it was still like we were fighting to the end to be the individual champion, but we still wanted the team to win. And that was to win for the team as well. So he holed out, and I made par for us to win the team championship aspect of it. And that's what I think is so special and different about Liv, is that you're not just competing for yourself, but you're competing for a team. And with some teams, it's their country. You've got the Rippers in Australia, you've got the Stingers in South Africa. So it means so much more. It's tribal. It is. Yeah. It absolutely is. And I think that's what's so beautiful about it, is that you're representing not only yourself, but sometimes a country as well as a region. So I think it's beautiful. I don't know. How important do you think it is? I would say it's a huge priority for individuals. The game of golf is in an interesting place right now, and it's going to get figured out. I know that. I have zero doubt that it will get figured out. It's going to take some time, but I know that every single person on Liv does want to play major championships, wants to compete at the highest level all the time with everyone as much as possible out there in those majors. And it is something we strive for, and it's important for all of us, and I can't talk enough about how important it is for us to be included in some capacity in these majors. It's very important.